morning. Good morning. We're back in the shop today. We're setting up the belt sander so I can get back to work on the spoon we started roughing out in the first video in this series. There we are. I've got the handle roughly shaped. Bowl is coming along nice. I do think that the bowl is a little chunky for my liking. It's got a nice grip. I've still got a few ridges in the stem there I want to work on. And look at that bowl though, it's more like a scoop. I need to also, because the top of the rim is so thin, I need to lay that face down on the sander. But handle contour is nice. It does feel good in the hand. It's got some knots. You know, it's a piece of scrap 2x4. And, you know, the bowl's a little thin there on top. I'm indicating I'm going to lay that face down on the sander to take that little sharper lip off, and then that'll give it some nice contour, or give it a nice, you know, defined edge, and that way I can come back with some hand sanding and adjust that how I like it. And so anyway, it's a little chunky around the bowl, as I mentioned. I need to contour that down and take some more material off. It's not really an ore, but it does kind of look like that at the moment. So, all right, I was putting my PPE on. Now I'm getting to work there on the back of that bowl where it attaches to the stem, getting the ridges out, doing some overall shaping. Bring that thing down to where it's like, you know, more traditionally shaped. This has been a very fun project. My first effort to make a spoon was terrible. I mean, it's 18 inches long, and my wife uses it through the bottom of her stock pot. But, you know, as for a saleable item, yeah, never done that before. Wouldn't be doing it now, but someone approached me at the farmer's market and asked if I could. So anyway, it's a lot more smooth now. I'm still going to work on the bowl, rounding over everything and trying to make sure it has pretty good symmetry all around. And it's, you know, there's some learning curve to learning to do that. I think there's some learning curve to all of the kitchen utensils. Anytime you're talking about actually carving something, you know, there's some learning curve there. I know YouTubers who carve statues and all kinds of things. I'm not one of them.
So here we are. Have this.
All right. So now we have a little downward.
Our bowl is better. Our thin spots are better.
I'll see it
not
again
perfect.
Here in a minute.
We need to do some shaping
downward sweep to our handle now.
The orbit sander, random orbit sander.
Still got some,
but overall, I think our grip is good. You know, I think our bowl might need a little bit of work, but it is not bad.
Bench here in a minute.
So
I'll do some sanding with my random orbit sander.
The work table, and I'll get us all set up.
But the hard part is over with. All right, here we go. Moving utensil blanks out of the way, and I'm explaining again, you know, how much better the spoon is now that the shaping is finished. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that like button if you would. It helps the algorithm find us and find what channel is. Just saying your YouTube channel doesn't really mean anything to the YouTube search spot and algorithm. You have to.
We're coming off much more smoothly.
A group of niches. It's like selling in an online
ironing out some of our little rough spots.
All right, so I guess I should have tilted the camera up a little bit because I'm looking
just because of the grain of this pine.
You're looking
going to have a tendency to be a little rougher, but I like the rustic look.
We've got a lot of smoothing done.
Get this knocked down a little bit, then we'll work on the bolt.
Not sure if I made it in the video. Yeah. Right. There we go. I changed it. Yeah, there we go. All right, that's more smooth. And now I'm going to go and do some hand sanding. I have a lot of little odd and end size. It's really cheap sandpaper. I think it's some I got from like the dollar store a long time ago. Been using other stuff, but I decided that this was kind of a project I could just use the that lower quality paper on and just kind of use my way through it. It's actual paper. It's not a fiber like a fabric. So you burn through it pretty quick. And it shows when it heats up, and the glue is not superior. But hey, if you didn't have sandpaper, you could say you had that. Alright, so I've got a few hairs on there I need to clean up here and there.
I hope you can see that.
And then want to even up that bowl a little bit more.
I've got some machine marks in there.
I do that
I was
off camera.
New to using that rotary burr in my grinder, and like my angle grinder, not like on a Dremel.
A better
better look.
So there we go.
At places where I got a little thin early in the process,
left. I had a couple of tool
working that down has given me a
heavy duty
thinner edge
that I was using.
Than I had in mind, but I think it's going to be just
got
fine.
A little close to the
got a good slope here.
When I was carving the bowl.
My bowl is a little chunkier than I had imagined.
Shown up as a defect,
but it's so deep
sanded
that.
But
I don't want to risk.
It's not perfect by
sanding through over on the belt sander.
I'm going to go ahead and get
a couple of rough spots yet.
Other
to work out
utensils,
but I think that I can go ahead and lay out my patterns on the hardwood.
I'm going to call it a success.
For my different utensils I want to make.
I'm going to boil it here in a minute. I think it's going to be great.
Here. But I got
this is the material. This is some 5/4 maple. I got a 1/4 maple. I'm going to make some.
I think that will make
out of the
nice spoons,
2-inch pieces, and then the larger ones in that stack.
Here,
I'm going to make
nice material,
and take.
It's very pretty maple.
I've got some blanks that I prepared.
Then for spatulas,
I'm sure,
or spurtles, I've got this hickory.
Spatulas.
Could even do my small spoon pattern on this. Because it's very shallow.
I think they're going
I could do it on the hickory.
It sounds good while I'm sitting here doing this voiceover. But the plan is to match the pattern.
And then I've got these several that I glued up out of my
those can be
scrap box
or
that are going to be
spoons. My small
spatulas
pattern is not a deep.
I've got a cake knife in there,
more like
and then like this one's got a chip out right here. I'm thinking I'm going to orient.
So you got cherry and walnut.
One spurtle this way, and maybe
different ones. I cleaned out my scrap box, which is what these projects
I'm gonna
are for.
Run one utensil one way so that I miss cutting around, or I miss this.
I've got to
cut around it for a handle. And then maybe we take a cake knife or some butter knives out of
gluing it
this part.
And I'm not going to plane it down to get rid of it, because that will just, grind away all my material. All right. So taking one last look to make sure we're ready to go. And yeah, I've got the couple little tool marks that I couldn't get out. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. Make sure I'm getting the dust off of it. Not that it's really going to matter, because the first thing after I oil it, when I take it in the house, my wife's going to wash it. This Stuff in the canister is the leftovers from my last batch of board butter. I didn't have quite as much beeswax left to finish out the containers. So this is a little thinner than what I like it to be. It's good for initial coats, but I wouldn't sell it in tins because it doesn't get solid enough not to leak out. All right, so there it is. Thank you for watching.